Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Yachts here, and it is Saturday, so we're doing a Share the Love Club. And this summer, I've been doing more Share the Love Clubs for people that are behind the scenes in the Raptors organization that have given very huge contributions to why the Raptors organization is one of the best organizations in the NBA. Earlier this summer, we covered someone named Anton Wright, who's worked for the Raptors in-game ops for a long time. Anton has done so much to make the in-game experience in the arena so fantastic. Well, today we're going to talk about someone who's had a huge impact on the Raptors over his 25 plus years being involved with them. I don't know if you guys know who Landicho is, but he's the guy who came up with the concept for Open Gym. And that alone, right there, as a contribution to the Raptors, is huge and has totally made the brand worldwide, global, and more attractive. I know a lot of different Raptor fans out there that got more into the Raptors because of the series Open Gym. Open Gym has given an insight to the behind the scenes things around the team that have allowed the fans to have a more intimate, personal feeling of the players, and that is really made the team way more popular. In some ways, a show like Open Gym makes the team more attractive to people that love like stories and stories about triumph and personalities and emotion and reality, like real people. And Open Gym kind of pulled the veil back a bit and showed us real stuff. Jeff has said that the episode that really broke things open was the trade episode where Aaron Gray and Quincy Acey got traded to Sacramento, and the real emotion of seeing NBA players deal with an NBA trade in the moment right then and there was just such a powerful thing. And it really made people realize, these guys aren't just athletes that make a lot of money. These are human beings and they have a lot of feelings. So Open Gym has been such a success story. The whole entire run it's been on and currently still on. Now, Jeff is not currently working on Open Gym as closely as he used to. I'm sure he's still involved to a degree, but he stepped back from being involved in Open Gym and around just after the pandemic. So it's a really interesting story Jeff has. I did a lot of research on him yesterday to learn about his story and his history with the Raptors. And he's not a Johnny come lately. This guy started working for the Raptors in the late 90s. In fact, he was just a young 20-year-old when he applied for a job with the in-game ops team, volunteering. He did not get paid for it, and he just went in because he loved the Raptors. He's like me. It's like we were huge NBA fans when we were kids in the 80s. He's just a couple years younger than me. And, he was really into Magic and Bird and stuff like that. And from Toronto, his family's Filipino, and his father is a huge legend in Scarborough for basketball because he started a whole bunch of Filipino basketball leagues in the East End of Toronto. And his name's Tito Wally. And sadly, he passed away near the end of last year. So in some ways, I wanted to do the tribute to Jeff today, partly because it's Father's Day tomorrow. And I know how important his father was to him. It's like I went and looked at his channel and he made this beautiful tribute to his father and just sketching out his whole entire life and what he was all about. And he gave it the Open Gym treatment. And man, it brought me to tears. And to understand how important Tito Wally was to Toronto and the basketball community. And he just did such a good job elaborating on how he brought women into the leagues, and he made a big, huge thing that became way bigger than him. It was so important to so many different people in Scarborough and around Toronto. The way he created some of the Filipino basketball leagues in Toronto area. So a lot of people know who Tito Wally is, Jeff's dad, and man. So their family was really into basketball. And of course, I've heard more and more about how the Philippines in particular is such basketball crazy country. It really, really is. Like they really love basketball over there. And well, the love of basketball is here too in the Filipino community. And this is perfect to do a Share the Love Club for Jeff today because it is Filipino Heritage Month. And seriously, his contribution to the Raptors is really, really, really huge. And it's going to be timeless. It's going to go on throughout the ages. These episodes of Open Gym will be on YouTube forever, and hopefully, God willing. And the story of our team over the last 10 plus years will hopefully be able to be told to future Raptors fans in a way where they can actually see the reality of what was happening, whether it's the stuff that was happening with Kyle and DeMar, whatever it is, Rudy Gay trade, whatever it is. This was covered by Open Gym for the most part. Now, I've been critical of Open Gym in the last year. I felt like last season they dropped the ball on some things, but I did not realize that Jeff was not as heavily involved anymore. I have no idea why he left doing Open Gym. Partly, who knows what it was. In some ways, I wonder if it's because they asked him to shorten things up. I know that longer episodes are what we love as fans. The half hour to an hour episodes are the best ones. And they made the episodes more 15 minutes or even 10 minutes sometimes in the last year, downsizing. And I know Jeff has said in interviews that there's so much left on the cutting room floor as far as when they're making Open Gym episodes. It's just really hard to pick and choose what to put together. But it is very, very obvious that Jeff Landicho has a really, really good grasp on what is dramatic, what makes exciting television, what can bring the stakes up, the energy, the editing, the whole process of putting the emotion-packed episodes of Open Gym, especially early on when he first started out, is absolutely amazing. He has a real talent. He is probably one of the top people in his field, if you ask me. Seriously, this guy, he could be in the movie industry. He could be in any kind of industry as far as with editing and building up energy on a screen. He's just really, really gifted at that. His path is so weird. Like I said, he was just a kid who liked basketball in the 80s like me, and he's from Toronto. And when the Raptors came around, it was like, oh, it's over and done with, just like me. As soon as I heard Toronto was getting an NBA franchise, I was like, that's my team because I love basketball. I'm from Toronto, and Toronto's my city. And Jeff was the same way. He was a day oneer with the Raptors right away. And, he was younger. And then he got that job volunteering for in-game ops. But then another opportunity came up. And he was studying journalism, and he was studying broadcast. And it was Dan Gladman and Raptors TV. Raptors TV was a thing that we had around the turn of the century, around 2000. It was a whole cable channel. It was a premium channel that you could get on Rogers cable box. And it was basically NBA TV with Raptors exclusive content in half of the time. There's the other time you'd see a bunch of NBA games, old NBA stuff, documentaries, but there was original Raptors content made on Raptors TV. And some of it and a lot of it was actually made by Jeff. Jeff got hired on by Raptors TV, and he was doing the different shows like that they kind of did. He was helping to produce them. Well, as he's working for the Raptors over the 2000s, he started to germinate an idea that he had in his head that was the concept of Open Gym. He initially approached Brian Colangelo about the project before Masai even showed up. And Colangelo's actually the one who gave the green light for Open Gym to start in production, but Colangelo was out, and Masai was really right there, right at the beginning. It's kind of really weird timing that Jeff got to start doing the Open Gym project right when Ujiri showed up. And but to be honest, and I don't know if a lot of y'all knew that it was actually Brian Colangelo that greenlighted the Open Gym project, but it was in development and it didn't really start happening until Ujiri showed up. Yeah, that's really interesting. In some ways, I had always thought that Masai brought the Open Gym concept with him, and that's why it kind of coincided with starting when he showed up, but that's not true. The whole idea was come up with by Jeff. Jeff came up with the idea of doing Open Gym, and it was his baby, and he made it happen. The first thing he did that kind of made this happen was he went to Lithuania and he did a piece on Jonas. He went over there when we had first drafted Jonas, and he wanted to find out about Jonas's backstory. And he was interviewing a lot of Lithuanian people and finding out how important basketball was in that country. But the way he did it and the dramatics of it, well, it kind of like was a natural progression into the idea of Open Gym. Now, a lot of people around the NBA and other teams have tried to do a similar thing to Open Gym. I say try because it's just not the same. The dramatics aren't the same. The whole editing and everything, the storytelling of the other team stuff, it just doesn't hit like early Open Gym does. And that is a testament to the extremely great talent of Jeff and how he does things. And I'm so proud that he's a Torontonian. I'm so proud that he's a day oneer like me. and he's a real basketball guy, and he is absolutely a diehard Raptor freak and in love with the Raptors because, man, he's dedicated his life to working around them in his adult life. He started working for them in his early 20s, and he's still working for them. Technically, he is now working for Giants of Africa. He works for Masai Ujiri Productions, and he's involved in filming a lot of the stuff that they do for Giants of Africa at this point. I'm pretty sure he's still involved with the Raptors proper in different avenues and ways also, because obviously if you're going to be working for Ujiri, well, in some ways you're probably working for the Raptors also. Jeff, you are awesome, man. And if you watch this, I just want to say we want to share the love for you because your contribution to Raptors history by documenting it and putting it on Open Gym is so valuable. And like I said, you made something that's good for a long time. And even like current Raptor fans or newer Raptor fans, they can go back and they can see where we were as a franchise in different times in the last 10 years. That's so great. I love the Open Gym series. And I wish they'd expand it back to half an hour. And I wish that they would give us more in depth like they used to. It's been kind of more shallow, the episodes last season, but it's still the same kind of feel. And at least a burst of it and it's better than nothing. But you can tell when Jeff's very much in charge, it's a whole different feel to it. And we really do appreciate you. Raptor Freak salute from Lex to you, Jeff, and all the hard work you put in around the Raptors franchise over the last 25 years. Whatever role you've been in. Yeah. It's really been awesome. And your father sounds like an amazing person. I wish I could have met him at some point. I didn't play in those leagues, unfortunately. But, amazing story about his dad, too, Tito Wally, and just how much of a Scarborough legend he is and just how many lives he touched as far as the things he set up in the Filipino community here in Toronto as far as basketball. And just giving people opportunities to get out there and play in the family environment that he created. He is a great man, and he will never be forgotten. And on this Father's Day tomorrow, I want to honor Tito Wally for Jeff also, because I know he was important to basketball in Toronto. Very important. All right, let me see what y'all are saying this morning. I just want to talk about Jeff a bit. If you guys have some glowing remarks and comments you want to make about Open Gym and the work that Jeff has done, the contributions that he has done to Raptors culture, and how he still continues to give great things and work on great things for Raptors culture and for Masai Ujiri and Giants of Africa, please put it in the comments and let your love be known. Share your love for Jeff Landicho. Yeah, this is awesome, man. Awesome dude. And he's a Raptors lifer, and he's a real one. And that's why I really respect and I appreciate him coming up with the concept of Open Gym and making his dreams come true, because his dreams have been an absolute gift and blessing to Raptors and Raptors fans all over the world. Yeah, I mean, seriously, that show is an advertisement that gets more Raptors fans interested in the team. Makes Raptors fans. That show made Raptors fans. I'm serious. There's more of an intimate connection with the Toronto Raptors players over the years because of Open Gym. You feel like you know DeMar more. You feel like you know Scotty more. You feel like you know Kyle more. And that is something that has been important for fans to connect with the team even more strongly. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Cowboys here first. Good morning, Lex. And Raptor Freaks. Hope you got your power back on. Yeah, we got it on yesterday at 1:30 p.m. We were out of power here for 17 hours because of that crazy storm on Thursday night. So yeah, we got it back, and Cowboys also saying, "Let's go, Jeff. Keep up the good work." Yeah, I think he's more working on the Giants of Africa side. You know, he's going to Africa and he's filming like the events and the gala that we have here for Giants of Africa yearly, all the different events going on around Giants of Africa. But I have a feeling that this guy is still very much got a finger or help with the Open Gym series still, if he's not totally running it himself. So yeah, I don't know who's running it at this point, but I know that he left Open Gym and being the executive lead producer just after the pandemic. So it could be around Tampa, something like that, when he actually stepped down from his head role at Open Gym. Cowboys also saying off topic, but I just seen this morning the Bob McCown podcast featuring Doug Smith, and Bob's saying we're a bad team and that we'll only win 25 maybe this year. shaking my head. Two-finger salute. Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I know Dana's going to give her two-finger salute to Bob McCown once again. I feel bad because Bob McCown, you had some medical issues in the last year, but you're still a jerk. You're still a jabroni, and you're still a Raptor hater on the down low. This is the problem. He's an institution on Toronto sports radio, and he's not a basketball fan in general. He's a Leafs fan. He's a hockey fan. He can be a baseball fan after that, but he really doesn't care for the Raptors team. He puts us down on the air all the time. In fact, I think Bob McCown's part of that media establishment in Canada trying to hold down the popularity of the NBA by, basically negging us on the air all the time. I would say this to you, Bob McCown, and with all due respect, with your health issues in the last year or so, you don't know what you're talking about when you talk about the Raptors. You really, really don't. You have shown this throughout the years that you are not in touch with Raptors issues or what is actually the reality of the Toronto Raptors. So I tell every single Raptor fan out there, do not listen to Bob McCown. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I will say this once again, everybody who's just assuming the Raptors are going to be a bottom dweller next year, well, you go ahead and believe that. I'm not going to believe that. And you know why? It's because I know if the Raptors are healthy, they are a playoff team. And it's as simple as that. You got RJ, Scotty, Emmanuel, Kelly, Jakob. You got everybody available. The Raptors will win. And if they don't have them available, especially the very, very key important player, Scotty Barnes, and then the second most important player, your center, who does all the rim protecting and the rebounding, yeah, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. And the only reason why we only won 25 games this past season was because of injury. So, Bob McCown, I would say this to you. If you're expecting the Raptors to be injured for most of the season, then maybe you're right. But if you don't want them to be injured and you think that they are healthy, you think that they're only going to win 25 games, well, you're an idiot, is what I would say to you right now. So if the Raptors are full strength, they're going to be fine. And you don't have to worry about them, all right? You just go ahead and you cover the other sports in Toronto because, honestly, you're not qualified to make an opinion about the Raptors. Let's just put it that way. I'd be surprised to see what Doug Smith said back to him. As far as with that interview, I would be interested. Not that I'm going to listen to them because I have no time to listen to Bob McCown and his stupid shit. But, yeah, I'd be interested to hear what Doug Smith had to say to him about it, if he qualified something like what I just said to him, or he just went along with his lines on his show saying that. Doug should have said, well, if they're healthy, Bob, they might be better. I don't know, Doug. I don't know if they're going to be better at that. I'm just an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about with the Raptors. So just don't listen to me, please. Okay, all right. This is how I feel about Bob McCown. I always have felt like this about him. I felt like this in 1996, just like I feel like it in 2024. It's the same damn shit. Him just spouting off stupid ass shit on sports talk radio when he doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's just it right there. Yeah. Dana saying, good morning, everyone. Got to go get my blood work done. Be back soon. Let's go Raptors. There you go, Dana. Good luck with your blood work. Hopefully you don't have to look at the needle. Look away. Yeah, whatever you got to do to get through the needle of the blood work. And hopefully everything in your test is very, very good and clean and awesome and perfect. And you are happy and healthy. That's what we want for Canadian Dana this morning. And she's giving her two-finger salute to Bob McCown. Just like we said, he is trash. Never liked that dude. Yeah, he gets it for that. There's the two-finger salute right there from the Raptor Freak family, Cowboy, myself, and Dana. Cowboy's saying, let's go, Canada. Dana and Raptors, we will repeat. We will repeat. We will be in the playoffs next year. Let's go. There you go. All right. I like that prediction. I think it's not totally unrealistic. Of course, I'm a pie in the sky, positive Raptors fan looking at the glass half full. And I think that we're good. I think as long as we have good luck with health, we have a good chance. Darko's system should take a little bit more strongly, and we should see a little bit more intricate detail to it. The guys should be a little bit more familiar with each other, and they should be able to play off each other. The Scotty era starts free and clear of any Siakam or Anunoby around him from the start of the season. In some ways, last year was a tale of two seasons, the first half and the second half. And there was a lot of, tough stuff in the second half, but the energy around the team, even though they lost so much, was immaculate and way better than the energy around the team in the first half of the season. So if anything, last year, the wedgie year, was a transformational year for the Raptors to change their energy. Get some of the toxic out, whether it was Nick leaving, Pascal, OG, Fred, whoever. We needed a new chapter, and we got it. And it was a little bit tough to do it in the middle of the season. We kind of made all the switches around Christmas and New Year's. And, we're at a place now where everybody's very happy together. Everybody's kind of understanding what the plan is. And in some ways, don't underestimate that, media heads and naysayers about the Raptors. We got a coach that the players believe in, and the players love each other, and they want to play with each other. And that says a lot right there. So we're going to have to see, get a training camp. Let Darko feel a little bit more accustomed to being an NBA head coach in his second year. And, a lot can happen very quickly. I don't think that this team is waiting around to lose and not try and do stuff. This team is very good and very talented, and it's going to maybe shock some people. This is the same thing that happened all through 2010s. Everybody said the Raptors are going to be bad. Raptors are going to be bad. And then we always shock people. And then they say, oh, the Raptors are surprisingly good. They're one of the surprises of the year. Yeah, every year you guys say that. And then they come and they do something. Now, recently we've had tough years. Yeah, since the pandemic, since Tampa. And I've hoped that we'd have good health and get on a good run and have a very, very successful years. And you know what? With good health, we probably would have. We probably would have in some of these years. There was always a little bit of injuries that were in bad times in the last couple of years that have kind of derailed our season. I would also say that the refs have specifically derailed our season, and there are two key points that I will point to that will tell you exactly when they derailed our season. One of them was when Scott Foster threw Scotty out of the game in Denver. That was a really good win streak that we were building. We had really good momentum as a team for winning. We were out west, and we were kicking butt. Well, Scott Foster killed it by being unfair and throwing Scotty out, and we lost a game to Denver that we probably would have won if Scott hadn't been tossed out. And two quick technicals with no warning, all for saying that Scott Foster's cheating. And that was a really big turning point, because in some ways we have to watch out for this as a team. If our team gets hot and we start going really, really well, the NBA will send the refs to make us lose on purpose and demoralize us. And that happened this season when we went to LA and played the Lakers. Well, and that's why Darko said after the game, if you decide you just want the Lakers to win, why do we even need to show up? Because we were starting to gear up in the barbecue era and we were winning. And we were kicking butt. Well, they had to demoralize us. They had to show, we're going to cheat and make you lose just to hurt your good feelings. And then, that'll hurt you and make you push down. So the Raptors have to be ready for this. If you guys get on a good streak this year, you need to go through it and just kick ass. And the refs are going to try and hit job y'all and make y'all lose on purpose. Just know that that's going to happen. Don't get demoralized from it. Don't feel like the refs are just going to try and squash you every time. Be above it. Kick ass anyway. Take the loss if they're going to force you to lose one game, but don't let it hurt your energy that you build up in the positive collaboration and how you guys' synergy is building. Because y'all have had really good synergy building, and the refs have stolen games from us and killed great momentum that we have been building. So I would caution the young Raptors. Going forward, they will try and railroad y'all to losses when y'all get on a hot streak. And so just be better than them. And even if they railroad you to one, don't skip a beat. Don't care. Just come back and do it again, and you will just win more than they can do cheating to stop you guys. And that Laker game that I named this year that Darko said, if you want the Lakers to win, you're just going to make them win. Why do we even show up? That was one of the games. That absolutely killed our momentum this season. And that game was Scott Foster in Denver. Of course, Scott Foster, the extender, really extended it. It's not even that he had to do anything. Dallas came out and kicked some butt. One of the biggest victories in the finals history and extending the series. And now game 5 will happen on Monday in Boston. And we'll have to see if we're going to get a game 6 after that. It could very well happen. We'll see. Luka kind of opened up his tricks last night, and they got rolling. And the Celtics looked really, really bad last night. So good job, Mavericks, holding off the sweep. And they get another game on Monday. That's right. They get another game on Monday. That's right. There you go. Let's see what else you guys are saying in here. Monique is here. Good to see you, super fan Monique Lawrence. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Without Jeff, there is no open gym in the first place. That's right. It's his idea. He came up with it. He started talking to Brian Colangelo, and he said, Brian, I want to do this thing on this. And Brian's like, okay, you can do it. While he was getting all organized and stuff, I think Colangelo got fired, and then Masai came in. And so the first couple of open gym episodes were really kind of started while Brian Colangelo was our GM. But then the Masai era started, and it's been going since then. Always good to see you, Monique, here in the morning. And I just want to say real quick, guys, today is Purple Walk Day. And for Epilepsy Association of Toronto, I support Purple Walk, and I've donated some money to Purple Walk in the name of Adriana, my girlfriend, because she has epilepsy. And today they are having a walk in downtown Toronto. Everybody's wearing purple, and they're going to walk around Yonge Street and Queen's Park and do a little square around the downtown in support of Epilepsy Association of Toronto. And if you feel like you want to make a donation to Epilepsy Association of Toronto, contact me or Adriana if you know her, so you can give to a good cause. One of the players in the NBA that really supports this cause is Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson's mother, before she passed away, was a huge booster to Epilepsy Association of Toronto. And well, today's their Purple Walk, and it's a great day for fundraising to help support Epilepsy Association. Epilepsy Association gives outreach to people with epilepsy to help them have more of a social life and have resources for different things in their life, like education on living on their own, and also just ability to have social groups and social meetings with people that have epilepsy so they can share time and have social events with each other. So it's a great cause. And I implore everyone, if you can, to give a little to Epilepsy Association today on the day of the Purple Walk. So yeah, I'm wearing purple for Adriana and awareness of Epilepsy Association of Toronto. There you go. Trevor J is here. Good morning, Raptors family. Remember, you become a master of your life when you learn how to control where your attention goes. Value what you give your attention, energy, and time to. Wow, Trevor, that's a deep one. That's a deep one today. No, this is true. In some ways, you know what? There's a lot of distractions put in front of us by the media. They want us to be distracted by dumb little controversies where there's real problems in other places. But also they want us to be tied up and all wound up over some things that are just not that important, whether it's what we talked about before with the smash and grab thefts and robberies or whatever. These are all distractions just to make you scared or this or that. In some ways, learn how to control your attention and where you put your energy towards, like Trevor is saying, and boom, you may create a better life for yourself. Some people just don't have time for the news because the news in some ways is convoluted and it's trying to control our emotions. In some ways, you want to be informed, you want to learn things, well, read the paper or at least get it from a source that's not trying to antagonize you or get you riled up with sensationalism or even the copy of how the news reporters read stuff. They are writing their copy to get a rise out of you. And if you understand that, you can understand the mechanism of how they're doing it. Watch the news with open eyes and listen to what I'm saying. They will read things to you just to make you pissed off. They want you engaged. They want you to keep coming back. In some ways, there's a dopamine release from anger, and they know that. So you got to be careful about this. And I think that Trevor's exactly right. Control where your attention goes and allow yourself to have a break and don't get all wrapped up in stuff. You know, we can't all save the world all at once. We really can't. But collectively, we can try and change opinion and get gradual change over time. But they will infuriate you, especially with some of the stuff that's going on around the world and how they're telling you how you should feel about it. Yeah. All right, Trevor J. I appreciate your words of wisdom today. And let's do the classic card of the day since Trevor has checked in. Trevor has commissioned fun for this channel as the commissioner of fun. And he sent me this box of cosmic cards. And we do a classic card every day. There's not very many left in here, and it is kind of the end of the season. So let's see. I'm going to pick one of these. There's only 4 cards here. It's kind of crazy. So this may really coincide well with the end of the season. So let's see who I got today. All right, let's see. This is a good one. All right, I want the full name, guys. Do not write half the name in. Don't just try and put their first name or their last name. I want the full name. So don't half-ass me. And that's why Kareem's name is full ass. All right, guys. Here we go. First person to write in the full name in the chat will get 100 points added to the Raptor Freak trivia score. The season is not over yet. There's still a chance for somebody to catch Amit, Fiercey, but it's not likely. Let's just put it that way. All right, here we go. Here is the person for today. This one's pretty easy if you ask me. If you can see who that is, that's a Timberwolves jersey. Who do you think that is in the Timberwolves jersey right there? This one, you may be used to seeing this guy in a different jersey. So let's see if you guys know who that is. Let's see. Have we gotten any guesses yet? Sean Bradley from Isaac Campbell. That's not right. He is a center, but he's not as tall as Sean. Rasho Nesterovic is a great answer, seeing as you half-asked me, and that's the problem, Kareem. That's not Nesterovic, former Raptor, but he did play for the Timberwolves, and Tom's got it. Even though he spelled the name wrong, it's Luke Longley. That's right. That is former Chicago Bull champion Luke Longley when he played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was actually on the Timberwolves in the beginning of his career. So you can see on that card, it's is actually a Luke Longley rookie card, guys. This is his rookie card. Isn't that crazy? That's a Luke Longley rookie card there. Yeah. So 100 points to Tom. Dude, good job, Tommy. Coming in and getting some stuff. It's actually Luke is spelled with Luc and not Luke. Luke Longley. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Tommy Duke. Tommy, getting the classic card of the day. It's Luke, Australian Luke Longley. That's right. Good job. All right, let's see what else is going on. I got Leo's life tip for this morning. He actually posted it before I went on the air today. I feel like Leo doesn't want me to do his life tips. He's like posting it after my stream. He said, "Good morning. Coffee is the path. Wishing you a happy weekend." And he's saying, "There's no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." This is a really good quote because so many people just like want happiness at the destination, but the journey is the happiness. And this is so true. You know, you could be working on a long-term project that you're putting a lot of hours and effort into, and you're really looking forward to the payoff of when it's finished. But what if you finish it and you don't feel like all the really great emotions or feelings about it? Yeah, what if you're just tired? You've got to enjoy the process. You've got to enjoy while you're in the moment actually doing it because that is the place. There's no happiness later. The happiness is always now. And that's something that Eckhart Tolle taught me out of BC, the New Age theologist. Eckhart Tolle saying, you know, the only time that matters is now. Don't think about later. Don't think about the past. If you can be happy in the now, in the moment, in the process of getting to the destination, well, you're unstoppable. So just try and practice being happy in the now. And it really is a way of centering yourself in gratitude and just appreciating, you know, if you want to know how to do this, it's real easy. Like you just take one moment and say, I'm appreciative of this. I'm appreciative of my parents. I'm appreciative of my grandmother. And I have such love and gratitude for them and the fact that I can still hang out with them and talk to them that, you know, that's a great place to start from gratitude. It's just something you feel really grateful for. And so that's where you start. And then boom, all of a sudden you're happy in the moment. And the now is actually a happy place. So it's really, really good to stay present because you can get a lot of stress about the future and you can also have regrets about the past. But the only thing that matters is now. And that's all that matters. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. There you go, guys. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying today on the chat today. I love seeing Trevor J here, of course. Kareem saying F Doug Smith and Bob McCown. They should stick to Leafs and Blue Jays. Now, Doug Smith needs to cover the Raptors, being as one of the original Raptors people. But yeah, sometimes he pisses me off, and sometimes he's realistic. You know, I trust Doug Smith's opinions on basketball way more than Bob McCown's. But I'm telling you, Bob McCown is like, he might as well be a U.S. journalist covering the Raptors in Canada because he looks and watches us probably just as much as Charles Barkley or the rest of them down there. Seriously. Speaking of Charles, sad news yesterday saying Charles is saying he's going to retire from TV after next season. It may very well coincide with the exit of TNT from the NBA contract for TV. And, you know, maybe he doesn't want to go and work with a new huge company like NBC or Amazon or ESPN at this point. So I don't know. It's sad. Either way, it's sad. If Charles is going to be retiring from television, well, that's a huge blow for the NBA. And don't think you can just bait and switch Draymond Green in there, Adam Silver, because he is nothing like Charles Barkley. There will never, ever be another Charles Barkley. And if you're trying to groom Draymond as the next Charles, well, we reject him. Nobody likes him like we like Charles. And that's the big thing you're not getting about this. Nobody likes Draymond Green. People used to hate Charles when he used to play, sure, but we liked him also because he was a personality. He was fun. He was funny. He's, you know, in some ways, part of the reason why Charles is so great is because he's humble. He has humility. And that's something Draymond Green does not have. So, yeah, fuck Draymond Green. If you're going to try and replace Charles Barkley next year with Draymond Green as the new outspoken analyst for NBA, yeah, I won't watch him. And I reject him as a future NBA analyst or personality, especially since he's still playing. That's ridiculous. So all this grooming of Draymond Green to be the next Charles Barkley, give it up because they're not even the same species of commentator. Charles Barkley is a unique, one-of-a-kind person, and he can never be replaced. And it's kind of insulting that y'all are trying to maybe possibly put Green in that position in the future. It's very, very insulting. Yeah, let's keep going. All right, let's see. Most saying Giants of Africa is lucky to have you now. Thanks for the memories. Feels like I knew Jeff longer. His beautiful wife, Ariana, is great too, by the way. Yeah, what a great story, man. In some ways, he's got a storybook story. Yeah, basketball is such in the forefront of his life. Toronto, family is all very, very key, important things to Jeff. And, Messiah must really, really like him for hiring him and bringing him into Ujiri Productions. When Ujiri's name is involved and you work for him, that means you're a very high quality person who is highly skilled. And, as their website says, it's about authenticity. It's about being real, and it's about passion. And Jeff has got all that in spades as far as his character, as far as how he feels about the Raptors, and funneling his creative energy into projects like Open Gym and working for Giants of Africa. Yeah, I don't know why he's not the main guy for Open Gym. Maybe it's burnout. Maybe it's all kinds of different reasons. I don't need to know. It's not my business. But it is weird that he isn't still doing the show. But maybe it is just it's a really grinding kind of thing. I'll bet doing shows like a Survivor or The Amazing Race or Open Gym, where you get so much footage. It's a reality based show, and you have to figure out narratives and storylines from what you film. Sometimes it can be a little daunting, and it can be a little bit like, oh my gosh, overwhelming. So I'll bet in some ways, because of this grind schedule of trying to get an episode out once a week and the fast cut editing that you have to do to produce a show like Open Gym, there may have been a little bit of burnout at a certain point. But who knows? I know Jeff. Jeff is talented and amazing. He can do whatever. I mean, seriously, y'all, you need to go watch his tribute to his father that he made last year after he passed. It's absolutely beautiful, and he really gave it the Open Gym feel to it. And you see his true talent and what he made Open Gym and why he is the reason why it's so built up and emotional and so like a movie. Like seriously, he has a talent. Like he could make movies and get emotion and things from camera and like just editing and stuff like that. He's really, really good with that. And like I love how the music would just kick in sometimes on Open Gym. You know what I'm talking about. And you feel it. You feel the goosebumps. You feel the moment maybe on the court that made you feel it in that moment, but also you feel it again with just all the trimmings of the cuts, the really great edit, and the music on it. Yeah, he's really, really talented guy. I mean, I've been around a lot of people have worked in media. I've seen a lot of very talented editors and producers in media, and Jeff is one of the top ever. As Dan Gladman's called him, he is the Jay Dilla of sports broadcasting. And, that kind of says a lot. If you're familiar with Jay Dilla and Donuts and his career and all that kind of stuff, yeah, you'll understand just the kind of person that Jeff is. Yeah. Trevor's saying Dallas ran the Celtics out of the building last night. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. I don't even think they needed Scott Foster, the extender, to do what he normally does. But everybody's making the jokes yesterday. The extender has arrived. Yep, Boston's not going to win tonight. There will be no sweep. And yeah, that was very true. Extremely true. Glad to see Kyrie and Luka wake up both together. And then other guys on the team did better to step up. Maybe they heard some of the noise, the saying that Dallas is just a two-man show. And some of the other guys are like, well, we're going to do stuff to help. Well, keep going. Seriously, if there's going to be a team that's going to come back from an 0-3 deficit and win the NBA championship 4 in a straight, I want it to be Dallas this year. And the Celtics to have it happen to them the other way. That would be amazing. It's not very likely or realistic, but who knows? Going to Boston on Monday is going to be so tough. And that is the game where they're really, really going to have to make sure they win or it's done. It's over. And in some ways, wow, go Mavericks. Go Mavericks is what I'm saying today. Yeah. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Saturday. Dallas should have been playing like this since the beginning of the series, but still, it was refreshing to see a smackdown. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, when your back's against the wall and you have nothing to lose, you have a different kind of energy to you. Jason Kidd very much saying that is like, guys, we have nothing to lose. And they get out there and, well, they show it on the court. Yeah, in some ways, there's a pressure on the Celtics now to close the door. And in some ways, that's easier said than done, honestly. Finishing a final series can be very, very tough. Any playoff series, when you have just one more to get and the other team's clawing for their life. It's like there's no tomorrow for the Mavericks right now, and they're playing like it last night. That's right. Fiercely saying, yes, at Cowboy, we will be in the playoffs. I believe that too. I mean, listen, once again, like I went at the people that produced Open Gym this year earlier in this season because they were making negative content about the Raptors. They did an episode on the in-season tournament failures, and I was like, you didn't have to do this episode on in-season tournament and losing. You could have done an episode on the 50 assist game that the Raptors just did against the Detroit Pistons, breaking their franchise record. Open gym should be utilized as, I hate to say it, propaganda for the Raptors. You're trying to sell a product, the Toronto Raptors, and you want people to be more excited about watching basketball and going to the games, buying tickets, buying merchandise. Well, you better put the best face of the franchise out there. And if you're putting like losing and like depressing stuff, that's not going to get more fans. That's not going to get more this towards MLSE. So, Open Gym, you guys are a propaganda channel. You're supposed to show and be attractive and get more fans. And in some ways, make sure your content is like that. If it's for the Raptors fans, well, don't make us all depressed and sad. And they really dropped the ball at some point last season when they did the in-season tournament episode instead of the Detroit Pistons' amazing assist game. Some people say, well, that game didn't matter. No, bullshit. The Raptors broke a franchise record for their team in assists for a game, and it was not covered on Open Gym last season at all. They didn't even say anything about it, and that's fucked up, if you ask me. That was an accomplishment that should have been on that week. Maybe they didn't film the Detroit game because they'd already decided in-season tournament was going to be the story. Well, maybe y'all need to be filming everything just to be safe. I know it's a big, big workload, but I'm just saying you may need to be changing things on the fly real quick, depending on what develops. I know I do that on this channel all the time, where I change my topic because something big happened instead. Yeah. All right, let's keep going in the chat, guys. Let's see. Monique is saying, if I remember the story well, Brian Colangelo pitched Open Gym to Jeff in 2012, and that's how it got started. Go, Jeff. Yeah, no, Brian didn't pitch it to Jeff. Jeff pitched it to Brian. Jeff had the idea first, and Brian green-lighted. He said, yeah, I like that idea, Jeff. You can do it. No, this idea was Jeff's, and it's not Brian Colangelo's, Monique. We got to get it right. Yeah. Because listen, Jeff had probably already been calculus had been forming in his head of the idea, the process, the idea of it was starting to form in his head, and he had that idea, and he went to Brian and told him about it. Brian Colangelo did not come up with this concept. Let's just put it that way. Cowboys saying, you know it, Fiercey. 25 games. What is this guy smoking? What? Yeah, McCown's lazy. He's just gonna say, well, the team's the same as last year. Why would they get any better? They look the same as last year. Well, when did Scott stop playing last year? When did he break his hand and then he was not back for the rest of the season? Yeah, Bob McCown, you don't know what you're talking about. Go back to sleep. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, you go back to sleep now. Cowboys got Monique on blast. I love it. Trevor's saying Cowboy and Fiercey, that was a WWE SmackDown. Yeah, they went. Cowboy had a burning desire to smack down Bob McCown this morning. Well, he brought it to me. And I smacked him down a little bit myself verbally on here. And yeah. I mean, listen, what are you trying to do? You're getting on the Toronto airwaves, on the radio airwaves, and you're telling people the Raptors are going to suck next year. Are you trying to hurt MLSC's ticket sales for Raptors? Are you trying to hurt basketball in Canada, Bob McCown? Because I know you probably are part of that whole thing where there's like an establishment of people in Canada that are sports people, and they don't like the upstart Raptors taking a bigger slice of the entertainment pie as far as, whoa, the Raptors might be more popular than the Leafs in some demographics, in some places somewhere. So Bob McCown's got to do his little part to downplay how good the Raptors might be next season and tell people, oh, they're going to be bad next year. I wouldn't even tune in. If you're thinking about being a season ticket holder, don't renew your tickets. They're going to be bad next year. He has some power because casual fans, more Leaf fan than Raptor fan, they'll listen to that and they'll believe what he's saying and his stupid ass shit. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man. Don't listen to Bob McCown when he talks about Raptors. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He really, really doesn't know what he's talking about. That's right. Tom's saying McClown and Loserberg just always making things a circus. The hope of tanking is not a Raptor thing. Developing while being competitive is. Yes. The old NBA, you maybe needed to tank to get up to the top because there was a really wide parity. Parity is much more common now. The teams have more even. There's no juggernaut. There's no real top dog. Even the Celtics, as one of the best teams this year, is not like a super overloaded superstar team. As much as they want to say they have 5 all-stars starting for them, that's bullshit. They have role players that are playing at a high level, and they have maybe 2 all-stars, really, seriously. Porzingis is not an all-star. Just shut the fuck up when you say shit like that. Seriously. Drew Holiday, sure, he's an all-star. And Tatum and Brown, okay, 3. You guys get 3. But other than that, no, Derek White is not an all-star. And y'all trying to push him on the all-star team this year was silly to me. He's not an all-star. All-star means they're a star. And Derek White is not a star in this league. He is a great player. He's a winning type player, but he's not an all-star. Trust me. But yeah, the Celtics are not that super infused with like a super team, like maybe the Clippers or other teams in the past where they have like so many good players involved. They are a team that is built around a few superstars, and they have good role players that are playing at a high level. And in some ways, every team in the league should be like that at this point. No more super teams. No more collecting guys and think you're going to win. That's not the way this NBA is going to be going anymore. The team that is the best team will win. And in some ways, that's evident in this finals. Is Luka and Kyrie may be the best two players in this series, but the rest of their team is not as good as the Boston Celtics team overall. So that's what the NBA is about. The best team wins. And last year, the best team won, the Nuggets. And this year, probably the best team will win also, the Celtics. And that's an overall team. Now, Mavs are a great team with two very talented guys, but overall, their team is not as good as the Boston Celtics. I will say that because that's the damn truth. Overall, the Celtics have a better team. And NBA, the champion should be the best team and not just the team that has the two best players and then a bunch of role players on the end of it, like the Mavericks. So that's what I look at right there. Yeah, that's how I look at it right there. Yeah, tanking is never an option. Tanking is not in our vocabulary, Josh Loserberg. And when you say the Raptors need to tank again next year to get another high draft pick just to be able to compete, that's bullshit. We will compete on the broad shoulders of young Scotty Wayne Barnes. And Emmanuel quickly will quickly get us there too. Watch, and learn. And you will remember the Raptors Freak said this today on June the 15th, 2024, way before everybody was saying, oh, they're only going to get 25. Yeah, Lex is saying this now. And if you want to listen to somebody who's watching the Raptors, not like Bob McCowan, yeah, listen to me. Tommy's got Cowboy and Mo on blast. I love it. Good morning to me. Cowboy's saying, do you smell what the Rock's cooking? Yeah, Trevor Day, do you smell what the Rock's cooking? Jabroni, Bob McCowan. Yeah, that's right. Good work to Jeff from Tom, and thank you to Jeff from G. That's right. Raptor freaks, the Raptor fans like us, like we are freaks. Fans are fans. They're fans. And sometimes casual fans are just kind of there when they're winning. Oh, I would go to Raptors games, but they really were bad in the second half of the season, so I stopped going. People like that, fair weather fans. There's fans. And then there's fanatics, people that actually really do love the Raptors, but in some ways they have a very busy life, and they can't be as ingrained into things like us, the freaks, the Raptor freaks, who are such freakish fans that we are all over everything all the time, 24/7, and we are just that kind of fan. Now, I mean, I'm doing a stream in the middle of June talking about the Raptors, and they have not played in 2 or 3 months now. So it's like it is what it is. You can have a different level of fandom, and that's what a Raptor freak is. A Raptor freak is a diehard, positive Raptors fan who stands by their team no matter what, stands by the franchise, is not a player fan first. We're not Vince fans first. We're not LeBron fans first. We're Raptors fans first. If anybody ever wanted to know what the Raptor Freak name means, and recently I was watching my stream from 5 years ago when we won the championship in the convenience store. I talked about where the name came from. I made the name Raptor Freak in 1995, right when the team started. I had my first email address when I was on the internet on America Online. It was raptorsfreak@aol.com. And that's how long I've been using this name since the very beginning of the franchise. 30 years now, Raptor Freak has been a name that I have used for myself. And well, it just became the name of this channel when I started it at that point. But it is not something that's new or I just made up. And if anybody's ever wondered why the channel is named Raptor Freak, is because I was a Raptor Freak from day one. And that was my first ever email address when the internet started. Seriously, America Online. Welcome. That shit. You don't remember it because you're too young? Well, I do because I'm an old head. Cowboy's saying, good morning, Brother Dukes. Yes, good morning to Brother Dukes out in the BC area, out there on the West Coast, holding it down for the Raptor Freaks. There you go. G, respect. And Cowboy's getting the dap too. Let's go, Jeff from Cowboy. That's right. Listen, man, you made a beautiful thing. You made something that's going to last eternity, hopefully. And Raptors lore and history will always be told because of your storytelling, Jeff. And we appreciate you for that, man. Let's see. Fiercely saying Raptors organization surrounded by people who mean well and put in so much effort. Yeah, it's amazing. They are really, like, seriously, this is the thing. In some ways, our team cares about people. Our team cares about the vulnerable. Our team cares about the weak and the sick and the people who are in trouble. They care about justice. They care about what's right. They care about people that may be maligned and not getting a voice, and they're giving voices to them. I love. Some people say the Raptors are too woke. Some people say the Raptors are too getting into areas where they shouldn't be. And sometimes I don't want to be a Raptors fan because they care about people too much. Yeah, there's selfish assholes out there that are turned off by the Raptors, somewhat left-leaning politics. But you know what? Who cares? They're making a difference. They're putting people on blast that need to be put on blast. The fact that they are celebrating so many different kind of heritage months all the time, they're talking about huge issues like gun violence is important. They have a platform for it. And I stand by my franchise that does that. I'm proud of them for this. Some people always say, shut up and play. We don't want to hear your politics. We just want to watch you play basketball, Raptors. Well, no, listen. Everything in this world matters politically at this point because there's a lot of things happening very fast, and we need to be more politically minded. You don't have to be politically minded if you don't want to, but if you're sitting on the sideline, you're not going to be able to tell us what went wrong later because you didn't do anything at that time. So I appreciate the fact that the Raptors are not afraid to be woke and politically minded. Yeah, I feel like it's so important in today's world right now. It really, really is. That's right. Fiercely saying a thank you to Jeff also and giving him a heart. Cowboys saying facts, Fiercely. The Raptors organization is so effing awesome. Great people. Yeah. I mean, from the people I've known and the people I've been around, of course, some of them were at Monique's birthday party last week, and they're absolutely top-notch people. And you know what? It's just the whole franchise, the whole organization. Teresa Resch embodies it. Shelby embodies it. Bobby Webster embodies it. Dan Tolzman embodies it. Dr. Alex McKechnie embodies that excellence. And of course, the guy in charge, Masai. Of course, yeah. Amit's here. Good to see Amit Gaming. Good morning, y'all. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you, Amit. I hope you're doing well also. And yeah, I guess the series continues. So I cannot crown you a champion yet, but it's probably coming very close, Amit. So you be ready. We'll have to see what happens. We get to Tuesday where we'll do one more trivia on Tuesday. But the Mavericks got to win in Boston on Monday night. That's a tall order. We're going to have to see what happens. Cowboys saying, glad you got your power back, Lex. Plus, your painting looks straight. Let's go, Raptors. All right, the painting's straight today. The painting is straight today, and my mom is laughing in the other room. She's happy about that. And Cowboys saying, Jeff. Yeah, just like Jerry. We'll be right back. Jerry, Jeff. All right, let's see. Monique is saying, I would see his dad walk the kids down to the court during halftime playing ball. Great guy. Yeah, his dad's like a legend in Toronto. I had heard his name before doing the research yesterday. So he wasn't totally like foreign to me. It was like, I've heard of this guy before. And it was just from like basketball people through the grapevine here in Toronto. And now finding out that he's the father of the guy who created Open Gym is absolutely amazing. And once again, it's Father's Day tomorrow. And I know tomorrow may be tough for Jeff with his passing last year. And I just want to say happy Father's Day to Tito Wally up there. And man, I know he's up in heaven and he's just smiling and so happy. And he's so proud of his family, I'm sure, to this day still up there. So yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And I know that Jeff's father in particular is very, very crucial and important to him. Like a hero, like my dad's a hero to me. Well, his dad was a hero to him too. And a great role model for Jeff and his brother and raising up and being good family men and everything that they've done and accomplished in their lives. So yeah, Tito Wally always will not be forgotten in the Toronto area for his impact. And that's cool, Monique, that you used to see his dad walking the kids to the court during halftime. Yeah, he worked as a referee a lot later in his life, refereeing all kinds of games around, not just the Filipino league games. He would referee just any standard refereeing kind of stuff around Toronto at a certain point. Cowboys saying, it's the first time seeing Bob McCown. Never heard of him till today. F you, Bob. Go cover another team. Lex, you are hands down the best Raptors content on the planet. 3-pointer to you. Well, I'll take it. I appreciate that. I don't know if this is exactly true. I got to be humble. I just have the passion. I have the tenacity. I have the consistency. And in some ways, I do have the character and the voice box and the talent to talk, to do this kind of stuff. So I appreciate you, Bradley. You're a great support, and I really do appreciate you. I got 58 now, guys. Yeah, Bob's been around for forever, and he is an institution, and people do really like listen to him. More Leaf fans are into him. Raptors fans don't really care for Bob McCown because he's never actually been very positive about the team. Every single chance he gets, he will nag us. He will say the worst things about the team and say, "Oh, the team's not that good." Do you really think that Jakob Poeltl trade was actually that good? I mean, Doug, seriously, what did we do with that? Why did we do that? And he's always saying stupid shit like that. It's like in some ways he doesn't know basketball. He really doesn't. He may know hockey, he may know baseball to an extent, but he doesn't understand basketball. He really doesn't. And that's part of the problem right there. David's saying, I blame Nick. Yeah, you can blame Nick Nurse for the toxic last year. I blame him partly because he's in charge, he's the coach. And if he saw it festering and he saw different things happening around the team and he wasn't actively trying to do something about it, and he was just kind of casually being like, oh, I don't care because I, in some ways, want to lose so I can be weaseling out and go join Daryl Morey in Philadelphia. Yeah, there's some weird stuff that happened with Nick. In some ways, he could have put out some fires probably in his coaching season, his last year with the Raptors, and he didn't. He let them burn and burn and burn and just keep going. Mischief's here. Good to see Mischief. Good to see a bass man. The Jay's here. Jay is a bass man. We were at the Real Jerk doing karaoke, and he didn't sing a song. He brought his bass up on the stage, and he put down a funky groove. Yeah. Good morning, Lex. What's your top 4 draft picks? I got my 4 picks. Kel-El, Zach, Juan Nunez, and Ulrich Kamachi. Very interesting 4. Mine's changing a little bit. I've watched and researched more on Kel Ware, and I'm a little bit disappointed in him. He's apparently may have some character issues, guys. His teammates and his coach aren't big fans on him. In some ways, there's a question about his motivation and passion for basketball. He may have all this talent and stuff like that, but he may have locker room problems, just so y'all know, Kel. And that may be part of the reason why he's a little bit lower in the draft rankings than he could be with his amazing physical talent. So that's the side that I'm hearing more recently, that Kel Ware may not have a heart for basketball like a true competitor should. And that's a little worrisome for me as far as pushing Kel as somebody. Now, my 4 are this. I have Zach, number 1. I also really, really like whatchamacallit for the G League Ignite, Tyler Smith. I also like Mogbo, Scotty's friend, Jonathan Mogbo. And then, you know what? I'm still got Kel on my list. Now, all my guys are centers pretty much because that's what I want. I want a center. But Juan Nunez is great. And when we scouted him the other day, he was a lot taller than I remember from FIBA last year. And having a tall point guard like him is very much a luxury, like a 6'6" point guard like him. And he is maybe the best point guard in this draft, seriously, as far as passing and court vision. So he's an interesting one. In some ways, he's not the normal point guard out of the draft. Like, I wouldn't take an American point guard. I really wouldn't. But if I is a point guard from Spain, a guy who's come up through certain ways of how he trained to be a point guard, well, I trust a young point guard like him better because in some ways he's not a score first point guard. I know that for sure. And that's the problem. A lot of the point guards that come up in the college ranks in the United States that are American, well, they're score first point guards, and they have to learn the NBA from the point guard position in a different way. And Malachi Flynn's a good example of a problem with that. So I would trust Juan Nunez, being a foreigner, not from this continent, drafting him at point guard and having him as a backup point guard over any American point guard, even the ones that are lottery bound. Seriously. The mindset of a point guard is so important. And in the age of AI, it changed, like the age of AI, Allen Iverson. It changed to a combo guard kind of thing. And honestly, I still don't agree with that. Combo guard, it can be difficult to do right. We've had good players recently on the Raptors that balanced it well between Kyle and Fred. And now Emmanuel, he's going to be doing that too. But it's so hard to balance it right between when you want to go to score and when you're going to be setting up your teammates. So I don't know. Juan Nunez is a green light for me if we are going to draft a point guard. He's the one I would get. I would stay away from all those other point guards that are score first kind of point guards. Yeah. Let's go. Cowboy saying St. David and Mischief. Let's go, Raptors. There you go. I like that. And he's also saying, Lex and Raptor Freaks, what's your top 3 picks at 19 and 31? Well, you just kind of asked the same question as Mischief. So I'll just stand on what I said. My 4 names right now are still Zach, Tyler Smith, Jonathan Mogbo, and Kel-El. But my Kel-El might change before the draft comes up. I might actually throw somebody else in there soon. I'm also kind of interested in the idea of Dalton Neck. I know he's very high in the draft. He probably won't be anywhere near where we pick. But adding another Kansas Jayhawk that actually has a similar skill set to Grady is weird, but it's also kind of makes sense in some ways, especially if Gary Trent Jr. is walking this summer. We have to see what happens with Gary in free agency. Dana's saying, just in the doctor's office, and my phone said, "Kick my butt." That's funny. Cowboy's saying, Dana, make you donate some of your tiger blood, making you donate your tiger blood. Yikes. Mischief saying, I'm wearing purple today. Right on, right on. Wearing purple for Purple Walk today. James is saying, Lex, if Zach Edey and Kel-El Ware is taken before 19, who you're picking at 19? Man, that's tough. It depends on who's left over. It really depends on who fell down to that point in the draft as far as things. I don't know. In some ways, James, I'm going to be ramping up my draft research, getting closer to the draft, and I may have an answer for you by then. But right now, it really is. It's just like what Bobby and Masai are going to be doing when the draft is going. Is they're going to see who falls. And like Grady fell last year when they were opportunists. They took a guy who may have been a top 10 pick that fell to 13. That's pretty good. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see who falls, who gets like kind of filtered down and doesn't get picked up. There's still a very strong possibility Zach Edey could fall all the way to 19. And then I think it's a no-brainer. You just take them. David's saying, unclear, Boston is winning. That'd be epic. It'd be really crazy if the Mavericks could win 4 straight and end up winning this championship still. It would be unprecedented, and it would really do something amazing for Luka's legend. And Kyrie would get some real strong accolades too. Jason Kidd would probably get a lot of good publicity, and it would be a disaster for the Celtics. It would be an absolute disaster. So in some ways, I'm like, yeah, it's not realistic or likely, but if it did happen, wow, just think about what would happen. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, good job getting Luke Longley, Tom. Good job. And let's see, there's the classic card answers right there. Let's see what else we're talking about. Kareem saying Luke played for the Wolves. Good to know. Yeah, he was a rookie on the Timberwolves. That is his rookie card, actually. He was on the Timberwolves before he came to the Bulls. Let's see. Cowboys clapping for Tom Duke. And G saying, I'm hearing that L has a Ayton personality type. Don't quote me on this. There is another center apparently on the radar. Yves Missy played for Baylor. Yeah, that's when I've heard the comparison of the attitude is similar to DeAndre Ayton for Kel-El Ware. Not a total commitment, not totally like frustrating at times. Let's just say that. In some ways, that's a problem. You can have a great talented player, but if they are just not getting it as far as what it takes to win or a passion, it can be very frustrating. The other problem is if you get him on your team and he's dogging it, he could rub off on other people, and other people may not try as hard on your team too. So it is a very big red flag that we're hearing about Kel-El Ware as far as that. Yves Missy is an interesting player. He's very strong. He's not as the same kind of type of player in some ways as Kel-El. He's a little bit more compact and strong and kind of built and brick. So he's a little bit different than the look. David's saying, how do we even know who he is? Who? Kel-El? It's just the news, the things that are going back and forth. It's from his time playing in college and his teammates. People talk to their teammates and the coach. And, well, in some ways, Kel-El Ware is not a good teammate, is what we've heard. Amit's saying, you talking to me, David? You talking to me? Oh, okay, Robert De Niro. I don't know. If you are of 2K, laugh out loud. I don't know. David's saying, like you're going some basketball genius or something. What is that? How do we even know who he is? Amit. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. David's saying, oh, on video games. That's right. I forgot. He knows the players from playing video games a lot. And once again, Amit is like me when I was a teenager. I studied the history of the NBA. I learned about the 50s and Scooter and George Mikan. I learned about the 60s and the Celtics dominance. I learned about the 70s and the problems that the league was having with like financials. So if you're a student of the game, it doesn't matter how old you are. You can go back and learn the history, and especially because of people like Jeff making Open Gym. There's old history clips and things you can watch, and you can get up to date on history in the league. It doesn't matter how old you are. He's like, no, I'm some video game addict, laughing my ass off. What's up with my typing today? I don't know. Tom's saying, Last Dance, great insight of Jordan and Luke's relationship. Not really. There was actually a very much criticism of Jordan and the Last Dance people for not including Luke Longley in it. They didn't put him in there. They barely even showed him, and that's why they did the tour in Australia with Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant to tell the truth about the Last Dance. Because there were certain players that were around those dynasty Chicago Bulls teams that just didn't get included in the documentary, and Luke Longley was one of them. So in some ways, they were mad at him for that, and in some ways, that's why Scottie Pippen and them did that thing they did in Australia a couple in the last couple of years. So yeah, they didn't talk about Luke Longley and Jordan very much in that documentary. He kind of got glossed over. Let's see, G saying off topic, but Blake Lively is a fantastic rookie in person. That's not her name. He made his first three yesterday. He has helped change the Mavs team. Blake Lively, who do you mean Blake Lively? That's an actor, right? You mean Derek Lively. G called Derek Lively Blake Lively. Isn't Blake Lively a female actress? Yeah, I think that's true. Okay, yeah, you mean Derek Lively. Well, apparently he's got two double doubles in 2 games now. The Derek Lively the third. It got a double double in game 3, and now he had one in game 4 also. So good for that rookie. And in some ways, I don't think that anybody's accomplished that in a rookie season to get two double doubles in the finals as a rookie. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Kareem saying we need to sign Emmanuel quickly, pun intended. Yeah, word has it Spurs might be making a run at him. Playing along Victor could be a fantasy if given the chance. Yeah, okay. This is what I'll say. Once again, being around Emmanuel and everything he's doing right now, it doesn't seem like he's got any designs other than Toronto. Him personally. Now, I know the business side may direct things. His agent may be like, well, they're going to offer you this much to go to the Spurs and stuff like that. And then, well, Masai and Bobby have the option to match it. So I don't know. We'll have to see how this all goes. I'm not as worried about this. I know Chev just put out a new piece talking about we should be worried about Emmanuel quickly going somewhere, but I'm not. I'm not. I seen how he's ingratiated himself with Scotty. He's best friends with RJ. And he really trusts Masai and Bobby and the organization. And I think that it's all slam dunk. It's going to happen for sure. So I don't want to add any confusion or stress to the situation. I can only go by what I saw from Emmanuel on Twitch in the last 2 weeks, as far as what he's saying and what he's doing and what he's repping and where he is. And he's not trying to do anything funny. Now, if his agent says, you'll make more money here, but the Raptors are going to match it, then he's still on the Raptors. So let's not chicken little this and make this a bigger deal than it is and say the sky is falling, because I don't think it is. And there may be little rumors in there out there, but the real reality is that Emmanuel's showing all the signs he's a Raptor next year, and that we should not be worried about this. Kareem saying, Lex, your new best friend with that Jay Dilla reference. You're my new best friend with that Jay Dilla reference. Well, I can't take credit for that. That's Dan Gladman that said that. Dan Gladman, the mastermind behind Raptors TV, who made that like 25 years ago. Well, he said that about Jeff, and that's the quote he likes to use, that he's the Jay Dilla of sports broadcasting. Yeah, and that's good. Jay Dilla was awesome. I used to play him on the radio all the time down in Florida. It was fun. I played Jay Dilla stuff on the radio, and people love it. It's so good, so good. So he's saying, good morning, all. I just saw that Klay Thompson unfollowed the Warriors, and all the Warriors-related content could be a signaling he's gone. Well, I mean, that nucleus is due to get broken up at some point anyway. They're going to hold on to the good times, the dynasty of the Golden State Warriors from the 2010s, as long as possible. And, well, that is a good sign right there that is true, Smooth, that Klay Thompson may be packing his bags and leaving the Bay Area and not playing for the Warriors soon. There you go. Cowboys laughing about me and Kareem. G saying at Smooth, and apparently he deleted a 2022 photo with Steph. Well, who knows? Maybe he knows a little bit more. He's an emotional guy, and maybe he's already signaling. If I was an NBA player, I wouldn't be messing around with my social medias like this. In some ways, sure, you can send like unspoken signals to people like what we're talking about right now. But man, I wouldn't be doing this kind of stuff, because in some ways you could make a rash decision and it may not be exactly what you think. I think Marquise Noel has been guilty of this a bit this past season, using his social medias to kind of talk about how his life's going, and maybe being a little bit too open about things that probably should stay private, especially as far as the status things with teams and stuff like that around the league. So yeah, this is a tough lesson. And well, Klay, he's been on the Warriors his whole career, right? and this is weird. He may not have known that he probably shouldn't do this because if he's going to come back to the Warriors, well, we'll have to see. G saying at Smooth, and apparently he deleted it. Oh yeah, I read that one. Smooth saying and at Kareem, it's a complete crap. Doug Smith was reporting that it's done all but a done deal with IQ. He's returning to the Raptors. Plus, as a restricted free agent, Toronto could match any offer he gets. Yeah, I'm not worried about this. He's fully bought in with us. Like I said, when I was on Twitch with Emmanuel for like almost 3 hours on a Friday 2 weeks ago, he didn't answer any of the questions the Knicks fans were writing to him. He ignored them. They said all kinds of stuff like, come back to New York quickly. Come back. We miss you. He only read the stuff that was from Canadian fans and Raptor fans. And my tag is Raptor Freak. He read all my comments. He ignored all the Knicks fans. So, I mean, why would he do that if it's really kind of like he doesn't see himself being a part of the Raptors team for next season? He wouldn't waste his time talking to me. Seriously. So I take the signs of him being a Raptor are for sure. And we the North 2K is another reason why right there. Yeah. And Kareem saying, thank you, Smooth. What are a leave? Great pain reliever. You giving an advertisement for a leave? What, you got the pain relief from what he said, like a leave? That's crazy. All right, let's do the Instagram stories real quick. Since I just brought them up, they had some event at Kansas University with alumni coming back, and we saw Christian Brune and Oshai Abaji and Grady Dick, David McCormick, and a bunch of former Jayhawks showing up. Now, Grady was mic'd, and Grady was not actually playing. He was a coach or something, and he was comic relief, and he was saying some really funny stuff. At one point, he brought up the Catalina wine mixer, and Grady's just a witty, fun guy. He's goofy. And you should go check out this clip of him in his blue polo shirt, Kansas polo shirt, being a goofball and talking around this event that they had at University of Kansas. And Oshai's in it too. So there's double Raptors content there. So you can see Oshai kind of around in the whole thing too. Let's see. What else have we got going here? Thad has got some painting. I don't know. Somebody's painting on Thad Young's Instagram stories. And then more from the camp, that Thad Young's camp in Memphis. Emmanuel quickly posted a very nice birthday tribute to RJ Barrett yesterday. He's saying he's 21 years old in year 7. He doesn't want to mess up his friend and say he's 24. But yeah, 21 years old in year 7 of the NBA. I don't know how you do that. Does that mean that RJ started in the NBA when he was 14? But I love it. The beautiful pictures of their friendship. We see them in Raptors jerseys in the pictures, not in Knicks jerseys. So he's repping it right. And the friendship between RJ and Emmanuel is undefeated. I'm telling you right now. Precious was at the UFC fight the other night, and he's got an interesting picture of him with his hand raised up while he's DJing somewhere too. So Precious likes to DJ. We've seen that at Raptors events where Precious will get on the wheels of steel and start running songs and stuff. But yeah, he's DJing somewhere. I'm not sure where. Miles Burns is celebrating his sister's birthday. She turned 7, and he's saying like he would do anything. He would give his life for her at any moment. Yeah. So happy birthday to Miles Burns' 7-year-old sister. That's pretty interesting. The Raptor is saying he's heading into the weekend like him on a line getting pulled up in the air and doing dunks and stuff. So Raptors ready for this weekend. You go, Raptor. Our mascot. That's who we're talking about. There's a picture on Oshai Abaji's Instagram stories of him with David McCormick, and I think his name's Kyle Lightfoot or something like that. I think he's still playing on Kansas. So the Kansas Jayhawks were in full effect there. Of course, David McCormick was a Raptor for a brief period of time there for a second. RJ's got the birthday wishes from different people. First, he's got it straight from the Raptors admin official. Happy birthday to RJ in his stories. Then he's got it from Duke University saying the brotherhood, and he is alumni. There he is getting a happy birthday from WME. I'm guessing that is his representation group. And then we got him getting a birthday wish. Well, actually, it's a picture of him on the court with Cooper Flag at the Duke. And then we see a happy birthday wish for RJ from Drew Hanlon. And then finally, the one I just told you about with Emmanuel is posted. RJ posting his best friend Emmanuel's birthday wish for him also. So beautiful stuff. Let's see. Who else do we got? Siakam has got something for the PS43 Foundation on his Instagram stories. Do we have anybody else that I want to cover? I don't think so. Oh, Slim Duck. Slim Duck has got something for Mercedes Benz on his, and he's in it. So Mercedes Benz put Chris on blast for a second, so he's there. And then Marquise Noel has got some guy who's building an architecture luxury building or something in Beverly Hills, an inspiring architect. And he's saying, just give him your vision and he can create. There you go, Marquise. All right, there's your Instagram stories. Just checking in on our Raptors and what they're posting on their Instagram stories right now. Big event in Kansas with our Jayhawk Raptors. And then birthday celebration of RJ Strong with Emmanuel Quickly and Duke and all kinds of different people there. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. Smooth saying, as much as I don't like Doug Smith, he's dialed in. One of the few reporters that gets it right more often than not. You know, he says stuff that bugs me sometimes. I have a love-hate relationship with Doug Smith. In some ways, I know how important he is to the history of the Raptors as a media member and what he's done and covering it. He really has been the chronicler from the beginning. In some ways, I want to respect his old head status as being from day one and doing what he does. But sometimes in the new media era with social media, with tweets, he's shown his ass. Like particularly that Armani Brooks incident when he made an off-color joke on Twitter that was not in good taste about Armani Brooks and his contract situation. So, Doug, in some ways, I appreciate you for your history with the team. I love the book, We the North, and I think that he has been absolutely essential in some ways, just like Jeff. But in some ways, Doug, in some ways, I worry about you getting older and maybe the game and everything leaving you behind. But yeah, as long as he doesn't have to be a fan of the Raptors. He just needs to cover the team like a journalist should. And he does do that for the most part. It's just I got a real problem with him when he got jokey on Twitter for a little while and he's trying to make jokes and be sarcastic. And I'm like, look, listen, somebody like me with autism, I don't know if you're being funny or not. And you're a source of news because you work for the Toronto Star. And what you should be saying is news and journalism. And you shouldn't be trying to be a stand-up comedian moonlighting on Twitter with jokes. In some ways, that's part of the new age of social media that some of the old reporters needed to learn is that, you can be funny and think you're being funny, but you're also a trusted news source. And if we're going to trust you for news, well, you can't be trying to be jokey and sarcastic on your Twitter. And that was the lesson he had to learn a couple years ago. Yeah. Wayne saying the Celtics dislike is one thing, but to not acknowledge that last night's blowout is just NBA signaling finals can't be done in 4 games. Don't have to cheer, but at least acknowledge consistency. Okay, I'm not even sure what Wayne's trying to say here, but let me read it again. Celtics dislike is one thing, but to not acknowledge that last night's blowout is just NBA signaling finals can't be done in 4 games. I don't know. In some ways, listen, you don't blow out a team like that. The Celtics aren't trying to lose. In some ways, a blowout like that isn't just the NBA helping the Mavericks continue the series. It isn't just Scott Foster extending. There's more to it when it's that big a margin. And the Mavericks going to win no matter what last night. They had it in their heads, and they went out there and they did it. The Celtics did not want to close the series as much as the Mavericks wanted to survive. So in some ways, when a margin's so big like that, you can't say it's ref manipulation. You can't say that Scott Foster extended this series. In some ways, this Mavericks wanted this way, way more than the Celtics. They way more outperformed them, and they beat the crap out of them. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because in some ways, this is just like what the Celtics season's been all year. They'll have like 4 good games where they're consistent, and they play well, and then they shit the bed one game, and they absolutely lose a game that they shouldn't have lost. You can ask Celtics fans about that. They've had games like this season where they were like, why did we lose this game? We shouldn't have lost this. They just come and they show up, and they're not up to what they usually are. Is kind of what it is. Trevor J saying teams are going to win with the best support in case that's the way of the NBA going forward. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to just see what happens. If Luka can write a storyline, somehow some crazy thing happens, we'll have to see. It's crazy. G saying one of the adjustments Mavs made was to play PJ Washington and Gafford very little and went more to the bench. See, I won't disagree with that. In some ways, I feel like Dwight Powell should be playing more in this series in some ways. I mean, Maxi Kleber, even though he's a knucklehead, he has more experience in some ways in the playoffs than these other 2 guys. Gafford and Washington have not been in the playoffs hardly at all because they've been on really bad teams their whole entire career. In fact, this may be the first time both of them have been in the playoffs. And them being so crucial this stage in the NBA Finals, In some ways, that's part of it right there. The experience is lacking for them, even though they're maybe their third and fourth best player on their team. So it's a tough conundrum. And well, if they got success from not playing them as heavy and bringing some of the older Mavs that have been on the team for a couple years, well, that says something right there. Yeah. Cowboys give me another dunk. All right. I don't even remember why, but it's probably for something funny I said. 59 dunks for Lex on his own channel. There you go. Wayne saying the hit job on the Raptors championship organization is something I've never seen before. Looking at the coaching staff and players back then, and to not see not one surviving member is bizarre. The only person still on our team, other than the front office, is Chris Boucher. I mean, we still got Dr. Alex, we still got Matt Devlin and Jack Armstrong, we got Masai and Bobby in the front office, but yeah, Jim Sand, there's another one. But yeah, it is kind of crazy the turnover we've had in the last 5 years since we won the championship. Obviously, the roster's completely turned over, except for Chris Boucher, and then Nick Nurse not coaching us anymore. That's a huge thing too. Yeah, Isaac's got me on fire. All right, I like that. And Cowboys calling me the farmer. All right, let's go. W's. All right, I like this. You guys are putting me on blast. And there we go. There's Darko and Masai on blast too. I like that. David's saying, I think Nick had a secret vendetta against head office or something. He added fuel to the fire intentionally as opposed to doing his job. He tried to divide this team, and to a certain extent, he did. Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how he did it or how it all went down. In some ways, I know he messed up our pipeline from 905 that Casey had wide open and was funneling really great stuff to our team, like the bench mob and Fred and all that, Norman Powell. And now the 905, when Nick Nurse was our coach, absolutely that pipeline drip, nothing in some ways. So now we got it back opened up. This year was a little bit more promising than recent years 905 and talent coming from there up to the Raptors and you being used. In some ways, Nick ignored 905 his last season of the Raptors, and I think that was very much on purpose. I also very much question the idea of putting Eric Curry as the coach there for the last 2 years. That was a mistake also, in my opinion, because that didn't really help develop anybody. If you're developing Eric Curry as a coach at the same time as developing players, how does he know what to tell them what to do if he's not a learned coach? That's why I say don't develop the coach at 905. The coach is an important part of developing the players. And I get it. 905 and Development League is all for developing different people like announcers, referees, everything. The GM, even Luke Wynn. But in some ways, I want good people in those positions, the GM and the coach, that are already know what they're doing, because we don't really need to develop those positions in some ways. Like, what do? You develop Patrick Mutombo, and then all of a sudden he's off to Phoenix Suns. It's like, what are you doing? You're not developing the next Raptors coach when you do that. You're developing Jerry Stackhouse to go coach for Vanderbilt. So I really disagree with having a development coach, a coach that's being developed. Now, I really want this person to coach 905 this year, Evo, because he is very intimately connected to Darko over time, and he understands what matters to Darko. And in some ways, they may have a shorthand that they could work off each other much better. And in some ways, if Darko's goal is to get more Serbian coaches' foot in the door, this is a great way of doing it. And in some ways, I trust Coach Evo as a coach because he has very good experience as a coach already. And he's done all kinds of stuff. So I would be very trusting of that kind of in between of an inexperienced developing coach of Evo, because he has a ton of experience. It's just on the NBA. And in some ways, that it would be a way better coach for next year for the 905 than Eric Curry, a guy who doesn't really have a background in basketball, really, truly. He's a stats head. He's a PhD. He's a water physicist. And it's just like, why is he coaching? He's in development. He can't teach Javon Freeman Liberty and Mo Gay how to be a better Raptor in some ways, because he's still learning how to be a coach at the same time as a distraction. No, you need a good, steady coach down there. And then you can turn things into better things down in the 905 and help our team on the big club in support. Yeah, Nick sabotaged that. And maybe even naming Eric Curry as the coach of 905 was one of the pieces right there. Yeah. Monique saying, news and notes, Scarborough Shooting Stars honored Jeff last night. That's awesome. So in the CBL, they honored Jeff Landicho for his work at the Shooting Stars game. That's awesome. That's so awesome. I love hearing that. Cowboys saying, yes, St. David F. Nick. Okay. And David says, I want Coloco back now. I love that too. But even if he's healthy and cleared to play by the commission to play people, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get him back. Unfortunately, Alan Tam's bringing in his 12-man roster for the Olympics for Canada. Once again, he's cut and paste. We know when you know who he's put on there. He's got Wiggins and he wants Brissett on there now. Okay, I think he did change it a little bit. I think he kind of changed it a little bit. It's not exactly the same. I think he changed Shaden Sharp out for O'Shea Brissett. Now Trey Lyles may have a really good chance to make the team now. Bam! All right, there you go. There's Kelly, Zach, and RJ on blast, our Canadians, and hopefully Raptor Canadians. Let's see. Bam, son. Randolph's here. Saturday blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. You have been blessed to be a blessing to others. Use your blessings wisely. I appreciate that, Randolph. Listen, I know some of you guys really enjoy the daily ritual, watching me every morning and getting caught up on Raptors things. I'm glad I can be here. I try to be as steady as I can. I'm sorry for the later stream yesterday. Well, acts of God are tough to get around sometimes. And the power was out because of thunder and lightning from a storm. I had to scramble, but at least I got my streak still intact. And I really do appreciate my family, my aunt and uncle in particular, for helping me get there and get that done. Yeah. Alan's saying he cut and pasted again. All right, Alan. All right, Alan Tam. All right, I'm going to give you a dunk. Bam, son. Because, Alan, you're funny. You got a Scotty Barnes 4, my guy. There you go. There you go. You got a Scotty Barnes number 4. There you go. Smooth saying Bruce Brown flexing his Denver Nuggets tat on IG. Wow. And Cowboys saying, bye, Bruce. Well, I mean, he won a championship with them. That's special. And in some ways, I don't degrade him for that. I think that in some ways, hey, you were successful with the Nuggets. I'm not hating on that. In some ways, I don't want Bruce back next year, so I don't care what he's doing on his Instagram. If he's going to do that kind of stuff, that's great. It's not that he's dissing the Raptors. It's just he's very proud of the championship he got with the Nuggets the year before. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Bruce Brown. I trust in Masai that he will handle that piece of our franchise in our roster right now in an effective way to maximize getting something from it. Because in some ways, he's a big bulk of the Pascal trade, Bruce Brown. So we got to see what happens with him and how he gets shipped. Let's see. Smooth saying, no chance the Raptors trade him back there. There's no deal that makes sense from the Raptors' perspective. You're saying there's no chance we trade him to Nuggets, back to the Nuggets? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at it all, and you're probably right. Although maybe the Nuggets are like, yeah, we'll do this. I don't know. Maybe we get Christian Brune for him because then, boom, we got another Kansas Jayhawk on our team. I don't know. Let's see. G saying 3-way trade with the Nuggets. Would some lottery teams would want some assets from the Nuggets? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. You guys are speculating something that's kind of weird. Maybe the Nuggets are like, yeah, we do need Bruce Brown back because look what happened to us in the playoffs, and he's an X factor. We need him back. Who knows? They may value him very much in Nugget land still. Yeah, watch Smooth. He's out of here. Well, I'm pretty sure Bruce is going to be moving along. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. David saying Peter always calls Derek Lively Blake Lively as well. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, blame Blake Griffin. Blame the last name Lively. Blake Lively is a lady. That's what I was saying. I thought you were talking about the lady who plays for the LA Sparks, the rookie, is who I thought you were trying to say at first. But then when it came around, it was like you were saying he. I was like, oh, wait, he's talking about Lively, somebody else. Okay, Derek Lively. That's who he's talking about. That's who he's talking about. Smooth saying there's nothing on Denver's roster that fits, man, unless it's Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, we don't want to go there. Why do we want to get Michael Porter Jr.? We've had a Porter on our team already, and that's been a problem. It's been a problem. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at it closely to it. I haven't looked that closely to this particular scenario. In some ways, I won't bother. I'm just going to wait and see what Bobby Masai do with Bruce Brown, and I'll react to it after that. Yeah, let's see. Most saying W stream, W vibes. Keep at it always. Good times approaching. Go Raptors for life. Raptor Freak family cruise strong forever. I will be sure to send this to Jeff. Yeah, Mo, thank you. I subscribed to him yesterday on YouTube. Yeah, he's such a talent. You guys check out his work. Obviously, you've seen the open gym stuff, but seriously, there's stuff he's done for Giants of Africa in the recent years. And also that beautiful, beautiful, amazing tribute clip to his father. Oh my gosh, y'all need to check it out. I'm going to put a link to what I'm talking about in the comments after the stream so you can watch the tribute to Tito Wally that Jeff put together. It is absolutely amazing. And we feel for you, Jeff, on the Father's Day tomorrow. I know you're going to be thinking about your dad a lot, and the Raptor Freak family has got your back, and we love you, man. And we really appreciate the work the hard work, the many countless hours of editing and figuring out the vision for each episode that you put in. Such a grind. And I know that you worked really, really hard on that series, and it shows because that show is a premium, ultra premium uh, content, ultra premium content. Yeah, alley oop to my brother Peter. All right, you want to give Peter Saborin a dunk. Peter does not get dunks very often. Our trivia champion. I do want to say last week, all right, Peter's getting his 4th dunk, just like Alan Tam. So he's number 4, like Scotty. Last week at the birthday party, I gave Peter his championship trophy from Trevor J. A little mini Larry O'Brien with the championship ring in a nice case, wooden case. And yeah, I was really happy to give Peter his fantasy basketball championship trophy from winning our fantasy league this year in our Raptor Freak NBA fantasy league. Yeah, very, very good stuff. Respect to Peter as our current champion of our fantasy league. There you go. There you go. All right, let's see. David's saying, wow, Clay is gone. That's bonkers. Who would have thunk it? I would have thunk it. Somebody's going to go. I wouldn't be surprised if Draymond's going too. Who knows? It may be Steph's the only one there still from the old team. Kevon Looney is also very much sought after this summer. In some ways, Kevon Looney has a lot of skills that is attractive to other teams around the league, and he could very well be in another jersey next year too, guys. Davis asking me, how are the chipmunks or squirrels? Well, I mean, they seem okay. It's been really chaotic around here because of the storm the other night. And I'll tell you, yesterday was a really tough day for me in a couple of different reasons. I don't really want to talk about, but you know, I won't get out there and see how they're doing today. So I didn't really see how they are doing today. And then in the bird's nest. Yeah, there's a bird that has a nest. There's actually 2 birds' nests on my house. One on the back door and one on the front door. There's a robin in the back door, and there's a little chickadee nest in the front door. And when we walk out the door, it flies out of the nest away from us. But yeah, there's 2 birds' nests on the house, and I don't want to clean them out. I don't let these birds live among us. That's right. They don't pay no rent though. Bryce is saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks and Lex. Good morning to you, Bryce Lawson, holding it down in the state of Kentucky and the stateside. David's saying, do you think we could get Franz Wagner from Orlando? We give him a pick, a young prospect, and Brown for Wagner and a salary dump? I mean, I don't know. He's an attractive player. I love Franz. I think Franz is really good, but I don't know. I don't know, David. This seems kind of I don't know. I don't know. Once again, I'm not really good at speculating possible trades or scenarios and stuff like that. I don't like dealing with this kind of stuff. I'd rather just deal with concrete reality of what has happened because there's so much Raptors content out there that is just going to try and like make all kinds of crazy stuff about dream trades and kind of things that could happen. I don't know if this is realistic. I would say that the Magic heavily value Franz Wagner. And, you know, he's pretty set there. His brother plays with him. There's all kinds of different reasons why Orlando is probably going to be where he stays. So they're an up-and-coming nucleus, and he's absolutely essential to that up-and-coming nucleus. So the price may be ridiculous for us if we even tried to breach or broach the subject. So let's see. That trade has Masai written all over it. What a fleecing that would be. Yeah, I don't see it happening because in some ways these teams like that draft class, guys like Josh Giddey, Evan Mobley, Scotty, and Franz and Cade, they're very highly valued by their teams. Although Giddey does seem like he may be available from the Thunder out of all those guys from that draft class. But I don't think Franz is. I don't think Franz is. I think he's like Scotty up here. He's not a trade anywhere near like on the trading block. And Orlando's not even thinking about that. In some ways, they know this guy alongside Banchero are the two punch that Orlando wants for the years to come. Yeah, Wayne's saying, I endorse that transaction, David. Wagner is worthwhile. Yeah, I'm not saying the guy's not good. He's amazing. I agree. I like him a lot. I think he's very good. My eyes opened up to him more because of Dennis and Team Germany's performance last summer at FIBA. Of course, Franz was out for a good chunk of the World Cup last summer. But when he was in, he absolutely was a cherry on top to help Germany get the gold medal and win the whole thing that time. So Franz missed a bunch of the games in that competition, but then when he came back, he absolutely boosted them up at the end and helped Dennis and them win. Yeah. So, I mean, I like him too. He's very, very good. Let's see. David's saying he would be a great fit for the Raptors. He may be stepping on a couple toes that are already here. He's my favorite player from that draft other than Scotty. Yeah, he's up there. I mean, he's a likable player. I do like him. David Stargate saying, did you guys see the pictures of Jason Tatum and Matthew Tkachuk from school back in the day? I hope these anti-basketball SWSs, alt-right hockey fans up here seen that pic. Must make them mad as hell. Yeah, I haven't seen that picture. I don't even know what you're talking about exactly, Stargate. But yeah, any anti-basketball sentiment up here from hockey people and stuff like that, it's a real thing. And in some ways, that's why it's kind of toxic that MLSE is the way it is. Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. That square out there was Jurassic Park way before it was Maple Leaf Square. But in some ways, the powers that be, it's the same thing as like Scotiabank Arena will be in blue colors often for the Leafs around it. The color of Scotiabank is red. And in some ways, I get it. Hockey fans are a little bit scared of the Raptors being more important or more popular than the Maple Leafs. And well, that's happened in a lot of pockets. A lot of pockets. The younger demographics, Raptors are more popular. In immigrant demographics, Raptors are more popular. And in some ways, the hockey demographics are shrinking in certain ways around the city. This may not be the case rurally around Canada, but in Toronto, the Raptors are maybe more popular than the Leafs downtown, is what I would say. Yeah. Wayne's saying, not saying referee manipulation. Organizations and players know when to minimize effort. Watched many finals in different sports. Competing stops when it's obvious the result is undeniable. Money first. So you're saying the Celtics didn't play as hard or play as well because they knew the script was already written for the Mavs to win and stop the sweep? I don't know. I find that hard to believe because in some ways the Celtics would have loved to have swept last night, but maybe it was the script writing was a certain way. I don't know. I still stand by the fact that the Celtics have had dud games where they do not show up as a team and play and compete well. And that may have been part of what happened last night. Stargate saying, I said that last year, Lex. Coach Evo should have been coaching the 905 since last year. Yeah, I didn't say that before because I didn't know Coach Evo until this season. And so I didn't say that. I mean, we didn't even know who Simonovic was because honestly, we didn't know anything about any of our coaches for the most part, other than I think the known one, which was Jama. And so in some ways, you can't say that you said that. Did you really know that much about Evo then? If you did, kudos to you. But I really came about this from the coaches' open house and also from hearing his work with Grady and Gary this past year as a shooting coach and helping those guys do what they do. So I don't know. I just feel like we need a guy that's very close to Darko that's going to coach that team down there. And in some ways, I didn't feel like Eric Curry and Nick were that close. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. Cowboys saying alley oop to Wayne. All right, we can do that. We'll give Sergeant Wayne Strainer alley oop. Let's see. Where is he? 38 for Wayne at this point this year. 38 dunks. All right, let's see. Trevor's saying even Tim Hardaway came alive for Dallas last night. Yeah, let me go look at the box score. Yeah, really, really crazy like score. This is like embarrassing for the Celtics in some ways because really this score is like the worst score the Celtics have ever done in the finals. They've never lost by this much. In all the years the Celtics have been in the finals, in different games, they've never lost a game this badly. So that's pretty crazy. So Hardaway Jr. did get in the game and he got 15 points for them off the bench, 5 of 7 shooting from 3. That's a huge key. And that's why I'm saying, Jason Kidd, get that vet back in there because Tim Hardaway Jr. has experience in the playoffs and he is that kind of guy. We know he's been a Raptor killer to us when y'all play us. So why hadn't he been playing before now? That's the crazy thing to me. You should have been using him all along. In some ways, I would be critical of them for not having him more in the rotation. I see Gafford only played 10 minutes. Wow. And PJ Washington only 14. There you go. You got a more balanced attack and you ran him off the court. Good job, Mavericks. That's what I'm saying. There you go. Let's see. Trevor's saying, let's see if the Canadian team can come back from 3-0 in the Stanley Cup. That's depressing to me, too. I see the Edmonton Oilers are down 0-3 to Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals. Of course, we want the Lord Stanley Cup to come back to Canada, and it can be in Edmonton. I don't care. We just want a Canadian team to win. I hope they can do this, but they're in the same boat as the Mavericks at this point. Yeah, Cowboy saying later, Lex and Rat Freaks. Have a great day. Dap to you, Cowboy. Always good to see you, Bradley. And Isaac's got the logo on blast. And dapping Isaac too. Neil's here. Good to see Blackhawk. We should get Isaac from Jonathan Isaacs from the Magic if we have to do a sign and trade for Gary. Yeah, I don't want Jonathan Isaacs up here. He's MAGA. He's a knucklehead. He's perfect for Orlando. The DeVos family loves him. They probably keep him around just because of his weird alt-right politics. Yeah, he's weird, man. Like he showed up for like Donald Trump fundraisers in the last election cycle. Yeah, as the NBA guy, and he was like the only black guy at that conference too, which was weird. So yeah, I'm not into Jonathan Isaac, even if he's a very good talent as a long arm person. I don't want him anywhere near the Raptors. I don't think fans up here would accept him. We've seen that people up here will get upset, especially when they're bigoted. People are bigoted, and in some ways, Jonathan Isaac's religion has him as a bigot. He has a very bigoted relationship with religion as far as what he believes about people, and he's anti-trans and he's anti-pride. So yeah, he's great for Betsy DeVos and her family on the Magic, but he's not good fit for up here. As Emma Adoka said, Toronto's too woke, and Jonathan Isaac won't fit here. So yeah, I'm not. There's better options that are similar to him. I would say Mo Bamba's a better player than him. So Cowboys got the logo on blast once again. All right, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything on this Share the Love Club for Jeff Landicho today. Man, what a great contributor to the Raptors history. Seriously, this guy is a very, very important person in Raptors history. He's unsung. In some ways, his name is not as much out there. Well, today, a little bit more. Maybe more casual Raptors fans will know who Jeff is, partly from my stream or just the buzz gets out there that we need to thank him for Open Gym. The creator of the concept of Open Gym and the guy who made it is Jeff Landicho. And we should feel very, very proud of him and celebrate him and show love for this guy making that series. It's such an important series. Blackhawks saying we need defenders. There are no Trump meetings up here. Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, you say that, but that's not true. I can drive around in the countryside here in the Greenbelt, and I see people flying Trump flags. I don't understand that. Why are there Canadians supporting Trump? What is that about? You know what it is? It's that they watch Fox News and they've fallen into the propaganda machine of the sheep of MAGA. And it's sad to see like soft-minded Canadians following the cult of Trump. Why do you do that? You have nothing to do with them. Why do you support a felon? Why are you so brainwashed by American media like Fox News and you live in Canada? So I never get that. So don't be surprised. There are problems with that up here. Yeah, there are Trump people up here. I mean, around the corner from where I'm at right now, there's a guy flying a Trump flag in his yard. And I'm like, why? Why do you have a Trump flag up here? Like, isn't that embarrassing at this point? Seriously? No, they've got them so brainwashed. So as much as there's MAGA people brainwashed down south, there's ones up here too, and they're anti-Trudeau, and they're people that are like convoy people. Yeah, they're usually the same kind of people. The ones that went to Ottawa on the truck convoy is those people. Yeah. All right, let's see. What else did I miss anything? Man, fantastic job, Mavericks. I did not pay attention to the game last night. I actually went to sleep before 6 o'clock last night and got like 13 hours of sleep. And I had no idea who won until this morning. I woke up like Christmas and saw that the Mavs absolutely blew out the Boston Celtics. What a great birthday present, or what a great Christmas present this morning. It's like half Christmas right now or something. Thank you, Luca and Kyrie, for what you did. Yeah, fantastic stuff. As I said earlier, Charles Barkley is saying he's going to retire from TV after the 2024-2025 season. That's really sad. I was really hoping he'd continue, but hey, it's his life and he's got to do what he's got to do. Check out the community tab. There's always great stuff getting posted in there from 5 years ago. You'll see me talking about us winning the championship when it sinks in. And I'm actually very emotional about the Raptors finally winning the championship from 5 years ago today. So check that out in the community tab. Let's do the birthdays real quick. We do have 2 birthdays today on the 15th of June. First of all, happy birthday to Jerome Moiso. Moiso was a part-time Raptor player for a little bit of time there. Moiso is turning, let's see, he's 3 years younger than me. So he would be turning 46, I believe. He's turning 46 today. And then also, original Raptors birthday today, Jean Tabak. Yes, that's right. Jean Tabak is turning 54 today, guys. Did you know that? Jean Tabak, original Raptor Jean Tabak, 54 years old today. Happy birthday to original Raptor Tabak. Yeah, that's always a fun name that people like to talk about from the Raptors' early history. Jean Tabak. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, if you have a WNBA fantasy team in our fantasy league, make sure you set it up and keep playing. It looks like I'm getting my butt kicked by Kareem right now. And also, let's see what the rest of the league is looking like right now at this point. James is beating Morgan. Cool Cat is beating Edmund. Meredith is beating David. And Fiercey is beating JP. So there is your update on the Raptor Freak WNBA Fantasy League right now. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's see what else you guys are saying in here. Wayne is saying good sleep, Lex. You missed nothing. Yeah, I mean, I needed it. I've had a buildup of not getting enough sleep in recent weeks. And man, did I catch up on my sleep last night, sleeping from like 6 p.m. to like 6 a.m. this morning. It was awesome. It was a much needed sleep. All right, guys. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you're a real one, a day oneer like Monique, like myself, like Jeff Landicho, yeah, you know what, guys? Day ones belong on the Rapid Freak channel. And I appreciate everybody spending your time with me this morning. I'll be back tomorrow for a Sunday special report, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, right first thing in the morning, as always. All right, guys, have a great Saturday. Get out there and raptorize your day, like Nab Bhatia would say. Get out there and touch grass, share the love for somebody in your life that you care about, somebody that's important to you, somebody that you value as a person that you really, really, really love having in your life. Share that love. There you go. All right. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for all you do. And always rest in power. Tito Wally. That's right. Let's go. Let's go, Raptors. That's right, Isaac. Let's go. Let's go.